What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of I'm Trying to, the podcast where we like to go deep but keep it light with my boy Daniel here and myself, Marcel. Today we're getting into a dance trip to New Orleans for Mardi Gras. And if you don't stop making that face right now, I will kill you. We're talking a bit about a really rowdy night out that I had in Stamford, Connecticut, sober, and how dancing more can very likely improve your life quality, like in the long run. Couple other anecdotes and small things that, one, hopefully entertain you, and two, maybe inform you a little bit. So let's get into the episode.
What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
It's been a minute. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I have things on my hands. I've been bumping. We're going to figure this out. Maybe mid-session today. First of all, cheers.
Cheers.
No spindrift for me today. I am on the verge of getting sick. I'm not getting sick, though. I'm powering through it. And it's surprisingly working well.
Animal. Dude, honestly, me too. Like, I woke up, I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit today, but I've been, like, not sleeping that great or that long. So I definitely felt under the weather. So when you text me, you're like, I'm under the weather. I'm like, I'm low-key kind of under the weather, too. But I think we're both making strides in combating the sickness.
I think we're doing, I don't know. Like, I think to me, like, being sick feels a little bit like a choice right now. Like, this morning, I was laid in bed an hour longer for sure. And I was like, no, fuck it. You're not going to be sick now. And like, I got up and like, I worked out. Obviously, not the best. This is not medical advice. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do that if you're actually getting sick. I think it was more so like the mental thing. But
are you not supposed to?
I don't think so.
Dude, I feel like I always feel better after I work out. Have I told you about this?
Yeah, no, we have talked about this. Yeah, like even when you feel a little off, like you just work out.
You gotta sweat it out. Yeah.
I mean, it's working for me. This is definitely not sound medical advice. I'm pretty sure like it helps. Like it runs down your immune system even more. So you're not supposed to do it. I don't give a shit. It felt great.
I don't give a fuck. I'm the owner of my body. What's up, doctors? I don't give a shit.
I also love how like your energy level just rose like 20% as soon as the camera started rolling.
Yeah, it came in super low energy. Well, in all fairness, dude, I started off, I said, what's up to you? And then I was like, dude, I found $10 walking my dog today. And you were like, okay.
So fucking what?
Great. I was like, I don't know if you heard me right. I found $10 on the ground, dude, walking my dog. $10. $1, cool. $10?
Okay,
That's crazy.
Dude, 20 is the limit for which I'll get excited.
$20?
$20 is the limit.
How often do you find
what
$20?
Dude, you can't even a good amount. I feel like I've found a good share of money lying around.
You just find 20s randomly?
I don't know about randomly, but like I feel like if you get you can't even you can barely buy a lunch in New York for 10.
Yeah, but like just the fact that I found 10, like look, I get stoked over $1. If I find $1, I'm like, hell yeah! I found $1 today. I made money on this walk.
Do you
Sick.
need money? I don't have any.
And the topic of this episode is I'm poor, guys. Please donate.
About that fucking Spindrift partnership.
Anyway,
no,
but yeah, dude, energy's at an all-time high. I think Spindrift brought me back a little bit, and it's just nice. I haven't seen you in forever. It feels like forever. So I'm just excited to talk and
episode
catch up.
A little bit on a distance, right? And now we're doing a thing. I also made you shut the fuck up before the episode because I actually want to like catch up on camera this time.
It's true,
bro. You were in New Orleans, and I linked you up with one of my like longest best friends, Steph, who you knew a little bit, but like it seems you two, he lives there now.
Yeah.
Which shout out to you. I wish you were here, not in New Orleans, but that's okay. But at least you guys had fun there.
Dude, New Orleans is a good look for that kid.
Yeah?
He's first of all sick. Second of all, thank you for connecting us. Because I'm not really I was with family out there, and like I feel like I stress out if I'm not hanging out with the people that I went somewhere to see. You know, like I feel bad leaving my family because they're like, that's the reason why I went out there. Just so happened my cousin went a little too hard during the day, so he like passed out. My uncle was like, I'm going to sleep. So I was like, I had nothing to do, and it was
shit. Perfect.
So I texted Steph, and I was like, brother, like, you know, I'm actually free. Like, would you want to hang out? And we got together, and dude, it was one of the craziest nights of my life. Just such a good, like, just a dope time, and something that was wildly unplanned for, and just like opened my eyes to a different side of New Orleans that I had no idea even existed, and made me appreciate it even more. And now I feel like I want to go back next year to see that group of people that I was with him. Like to see him back there. I'm like, dude, that would be awesome. You know, like it was
dude.
so
okay,
cool.
So elaborate. Like what does that mean? Like what is the side that you knew versus the side that you didn't know? Because like I feel like to anybody who has never been to New Orleans or just has been for Mardi Gras, like titties and pearls and drinking, right?
Absolutely.
That's and music.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was gonna say. It was like I think the initial everyone's kind of, when you hear Mardi Gras, all you think of is like yams getting dumped out in the street for pearls and like little beads and stuff. Tons of music and like debauchery. And off the rip, absolutely, you can find that. I think like there's like the French Quarter has like the street, like Bourbon Street, which is like super packed. There's tons of bars.
Thing, right?
Main
like,
drag.
Yeah.
So this is my second time being in New Orleans for Mardi Gras. The reason why I go is because my uncle rides with one of the groups there that like does like the parade. So he's actually on the float throwing beads out, which I didn't know is like kind of a rare thing to be a part of. Like it's like an exclusive group or whatever.
Sure,
it's
right?
awesome, like so cool. I had no idea. So he invited my cousin and I to come. We went last year. It was awesome. But that's really the only side of it that I knew was like going to.
So this is your uncle?
Correct.
Okay, so his son and you.
No.
Oh, another
No.
cousin.
He doesn't
like
have
his,
kids. So,
oh, got it.
He
Okay,
doesn't
cool.
have
Like
kids,
his sibling's son and you. Like his siblings.
His
sons.
sibling's son. Yeah, his sibling's sons.
Yeah,
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
Toy.
Absolutely.
Family.
Yes. But he's been doing it for like 20 plus years. And for the longest time was like, at some point I want to bring you guys down to show you why I love this place and why this means so much to me. And I wanted to wait until you guys were like old enough to appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
So last year was the first time we went.
Right.
And
I
it was
remember you
super
saying
cool,
that, right.
super fun. And it was already like a different side of Mardi Gras, So where I said initially where you're kind of conditioned to think of like boobies and all this craziness and debauchery. The side that he goes to is very much like it's very not like polished, but there's a lot of suited events and there's like a gala dinner and there's a bunch of tradition. Like that's it's like a very family oriented time.
Okay.
Because like the floats that are going and parading around are like part of this like whole family thing. It's really cool. So it's like more of like a polished version of Mardi Gras. Now at the end of those things,
float. I'm sorry. So like
go
this
ahead.
float is like something that is a little bit of a like history in your family, and that's why you get to
not
keep
my
doing,
family
like,
specifically, but like the families that are down there, like they've been doing these floats and.
I mean, your uncle does one of them, so
Yes, yeah, but
how do you get
got
into
in like
that? randomly
through happenstance, like finding, like becoming friends with one of the families.
Wonderful word.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Thanks.
nice ears. Okay. Okay. So he's in now, and
He's
then
in
those
now, and
families
he's
that
been
do
doing it for
they're
20
doing it more upscale.
Yes,
which
yeah.
is why you got a tux
Yes, exactly.
from Suit Supply.
Yes, dude,
got it.
sickest tux of my freaking life. I've
Yeah,
never felt
hell
like
yeah.
I look better. I was like this,
yeah.
like oh my god, so cool. Anyway, oh god, I love that tux. Anyway, so this year was second year going, same kind of deal. Very elevated, very posh, whatever. And what Steph introduced me to was, the way that he likened it was, he's like, look, where you are and what you're doing is sort of like the Times Square of New Orleans. Locals don't really go to that all that often. Like when Mardi Gras happens, we're in our own little communities and we do our own thing. Because apparently, like the city will put resources towards police and barricades and making sure that the streets are blocked off and everything, to keep everything safe. And we're like, it's like if you're not on the main strip, they don't have those same protections from police and stuff. So it's kind of like, we're just gonna walk in huge groups and see what happens. So he brought me out to like, I think it's called the Bywater or something. It's like a 15-minute drive away or whatever, and it was like entirely different vibe. There's really no floats so much as like people that spend a whole year crafting these costumes and big mechanical looking things, and there's like DJs playing music and
Like a Burning
marching
Man
band,
vibe? A
sort of,
little bit?
but it's like
Like-
a Burning Man on the move. 'Cause
Right.
You're like,
Oh,
they're like,
shit,
okay, we're
right.
starting at the spot, and there's a rendezvous point where like what it's
So
seemingly
there's still
the
a
entirety of
parade,
this town. Yeah,
but not floats.
it's like
got it. Okay.
unofficial
Yeah.
parade
yeah,
where there's like I only saw one float, and it was like the coolest. Like it looked like a dragon, like this like mechanical dragon. People are dancing on the sides, and there's like a DJ going. It was nuts.
Hell
and we're
yeah.
and it's like you're walking the whole way. So in certain parts they'll stop and just like play music, and if people like a dance party, people will kind of like weed out or whatever. So by
Yeah.
the end, you get to the end of this thing, and they make it like a big party for the people who actually stayed for the whole time. Dude, so freaking cool. Again, I didn't know what to expect. I was a little nervous meeting up with like your homie because like,
Right.
I know Steph through, just like random, like through you. I don't think I've been with Steph alone other than with you.
Right. Like you hadn't been alone with him. You were
Correct.
sort of like you've been. I don't even know when we hung out, the three of us plus.
Probably years ago, maybe.
Oh, shit,
Like a year
yeah?
and a half ago, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway, this is like the longest story ever. But immediately meeting his group of friends, because I feel like everyone invited somebody new, and it was
Okay.
like almost everyone's first time there.
Nice.
And everyone was like the sweetest, kindest, most like, yeah, let me help you with that. Do you need something that I can give you? Like, let me just open their houses to us. Like, such a nice like community vibe. And only got to see him that one night, which was a bummer. But I now would love to go back just to see more of that like other side of like what like the locals do,
Hell yeah,
like in these kind of off like side parades. It was incredible.
Dude, I'm so happy. Like, I'm hoping you'd be down to also just go back because I want to go visit him soon.
I was thinking
go
too.
to
I was
New
like,
Orleans
dude,
just, like, to
Marcel
go.
would love this shit. This is fun.
I mean, just in general, right? But like yeah, we got another year till the next
Absolutely.
like actual Mardi Gras happens, right?
Gotta start crafting.
Yeah, but is anybody thinking it? That's watching, listening? Somebody's got to be.
Yeah, I'm thinking it. Yeah, for sure. Okay, I get it.
Yeah?
This is your big callback to
Yeah.
me not mixing friends, which
Wow.
I get. I totally get. And for a minute, I was like, I'm gonna have to talk about this. And he's gonna rub it in my face, and here we
Yep.
are. I knew.
Yep.
I know. But so you are
A
right.
wonderful, magical, unique night that you never could have expected because you got thrown in with you got the lasagna, you got the bolognese. I'm like, go back to the fucking Italian
Someone
dishes.
remembered the whole thing.
I mean, it's definitely not my peak, so no, I'm not gonna say that. But
No,
yeah,
but
dude,
great.
I'm that made me so happy. Like that, not only what it did to you, like, and that it can be so beautiful, but like I also was like, yeah, y'all meet up if you want to. Like, clearly I wasn't there, I wasn't worried,
Right.
Or it's still a different situation, right? I was
Yeah.
like, have fun. If you don't get along, it's awkward. Well, that's on you. I'm over here doing my thing, right? Like,
Good luck, guys.
fuck you. But worked out, and it genuinely made me so fucking happy to see you two together. I know that like he's not been like the most socially fulfilled down there. He's missing the homies, like, and we've just not. He's been so busy with work, and we've not really been able to make the trip down.
Yeah.
So knowing that you are a lot like me, I feel like just having someone like you down there feels a little bit like having a homie down that like is home-y.
Yeah, dude,
It was nice.
it was awesome, and he's like such a nice guy. And we were laughing a lot about different stuff because there was one time, so like I don't know, they dressed, the whole theme was like monsters. You have to dress up as like a monster. I didn't know that. I just like
Okay.
I showed up with like my beads and like
I
the
didn't know that
brightest
there was
shit and like a little hat with like froggy eyes on it. It was whatever.
Monster.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
So,
it worked, right?
They gave me some stuff to wear.
Okay.
And we were, just going in the parade, and apparently like they don't like shame you, but if you're in the group and you're not dressed like a monster, they'll be like, oh, like humans are here. Look out, there's humans here. So like they don't like, they kind of like call you out. They're like, look,
Right.
this guy's not sticking to the theme,
Right.
So I made it like 3/4 of the way through the night without getting called a human, and then I stepped on some lady's like train like hairdress thing, and I was like, I'm so sorry, and she was like, watch it, human, like watch where you're going. And I was like, hey dude, I said I'm sorry, like my bad. But there's this guy who walked by me, looked at my just get up, and was like, classic frog hat, man. And me and Stefan, we just laughed the whole like, dude, that's so. He was like, yeah, I was just like you last year, dude. Like it takes some time to get used to. I was like, thank you, I'm here though.
Yeah,
I tried my best, but
Fuck yeah,
it was just
dude.
funny.
No, really dope.
But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time.
New Orleans, yeah, and that definitely not on like my bucket list of like things to like attend, just because of that, upfront branding of titties, booze, and
But like
pearls.
dude, this is the second year I've gone, and I really don't see that.
Well, look, I mean, you didn't invite me, so you didn't invite me to come, so
I mean, I was an invite.
Yeah, I know. Fucking extend it, right? Like, no. No, but like maybe we do that next year. Like it'd be really dope.
It'd be cool.
I also by then, like I'm not drinking for the year, right? And I think I'm now settled on like it's not gonna be like a forever thing. Like I wanted to like I want to know when I'm drinking, what I'm doing it like in a very planned manner.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like my issue was more so that it was just too easy to have a glass of wine or something. I don't want that. I don't want it to be like this normal thing. Like I want it to be a special thing, but then also just enjoy it.
Yeah.
But then last weekend, so I was out on Friday.
Yeah, dude, what happened?
So Clara's very close friend from like when she lived up in Connecticut. The people she used to go out with and hang out with a lot is one of the guys' birthdays. So we went up there. We went to a Brazilian steakhouse. It was fucking great.
Fogo de chão?
And no, that's literally my first question too, though. Like fogo de chão? Like no, it was something else. Stuffed my face with meats. Then went to
Yeah, I bet.
got that practice. Went next door to the comedy club to tell that joke. Didn't land. No, saw two smaller comics, and then Michael Rappaport.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Rappaport, classic. Gotta say, like, for the openers were like, I thought way funnier, like way more timely, way more young and fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus like that partially, not even just like it's not PC. Like it isn't, but like that's not what's the problem with it. It's just not funny.
Yeah.
Like it's not funny to me anymore. It feels like a generation past. Which no shade to a fucking legend, but like I just didn't think it was funny. It's subjective, right? And then we went out, and it's like Stamford, Connecticut. Going out is like all about being wasted, right? Like we went to 2 places there across the street from one another.
Was one Brother Jimmy's?
No.
Oh,
no. Oh, no. Oh, but you do know the area.
Dude, I used to live there. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, right. No, we went to Bedford Hall and then across to town.
Okay.
Do you know those?
I know Bedford Hall.
Yeah, okay. Literally right across this town. It used to be called something else, I think. It's like more of a club. Well, Bedford Hall is a bar.
Yes.
So we were in there, clearly not drinking, but like having some chats. It was nice. Everybody else was getting turned. And then we went across the hall to town, across the street to town, and it was like, fucking club party, like this. I'm like, yes. Yeah. Dude, I had the best time. Like I had so much fun. I was throwing out like, yeah, shaking it out, twerking it out. I love when a black woman comes to me at a club and be like, I love the way you dance. Like there's no better stamp, like seal of approval than that. And she was like young and could dance herself. She was like, she came over to the club and was like, I love the way you guys are dancing. Like with her, I'm like, thank you. That's all I needed. They were like, she was with her gay friend, who also was throwing it down. So I'm like, fantastic.
Nice.
Plus they were like 22. I'm like, this is everything I need. I'm like, a compliment
for
the senior in the club. Fantastic. Didn't get back home till like 5 a.m. because
which is wild.
I drove back down because I was sober. Like I wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to like crash up there. So I mean, neither did we. And Clara hadn't seen him in so long. I was like, fuck it. Like tonight goes as long as it goes, and when we get home, we get home.
Right.
But this is probably the reason why I'm a little bit under the weather now. And why Clara has knocked the fuck out of there because she was drinking. So now I'm like, fuck. Like I was really itching to like have a drink and like feel this like party type thing.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, good. I'm gonna maybe do this. And now I just went out. I was sober, and I feel like that itch was scratched, even without me drinking. So like maybe
how'd you tap into that? Like I feel like some people, like I feel like if I wasn't drinking or doing anything in that kind of setting, I don't know if I'd be as like loosey goosey and like
the music was good.
Yeah,
music was good. Can't lie, music was too good. And I mean I used to be a dancer, and like I'm working more on like who the fuck gives a shit.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, if everybody else is wasted, like it's a lot easier, right? Like because you're
absolutely.
Like. You will not remember. Like all they'll remember is like he was a good time because he wanted to dance, whether that was good or not. Nobody gives a shit. Yeah. Like, it felt really good. It felt really, really empowering to stand in the club, look out on all of these like 20-some-year-olds. We're like, I'll feel so much better than you tomorrow,
dude. That's so funny that you said, because I like when at this like gala thing in Mardi Gras. Yeah, was noticing that not a lot of people were dancing. They had like, this live band that was sick. And now, granted, I was drinking a little bit, not a ton, because you have to last till like 4 a.m. or whatever. I think this thing goes till like 4 in the morning. So it's like, okay, well, I'll have like a drink every hour, so I'm just to space it out, keep myself going a little bit. But dude, same deal. Music was killer, and I was in that mindset where I was like, dude, if everyone's drinking, no one's gonna remember like who this random person was. Yep. Also, like, what are the odds I see you guys ever again? Like, a lot of these people are like random that come to this. And I'm like, I'm gonna throw my ass in a circle, dude. Like, let's go. And the way that everyone immediately was like, oh man, that guy's dancing.
Yeah,
we got. How is this guy the only guy dancing?
Takes one, man.
All it takes is one person to start busting a move and throwing it down, and everyone's like, oh, that's it. This dude doesn't give a shit. I got to get in there and do the same thing. Not to mention, like, I don't know. I feel like that everyone just is like, there's all eyes on you. Like, it's just cool. I feel like like getting rid of that inhibition and being like, let's go dance. Doesn't matter. I don't feel like let's just make fools of ourselves is great. It helps like, everyone.
Like, it's literally like you being a kid running in, like, what would a kid do?
Yeah.
Do they give a shit about anybody watching? They know, not that they would dance. I mean, some kids do, right? Dude, I was hired professionally by clubs.
Yeah.
To go in and be the first person to dance, like with my friends. Like, we would go in and dance so everybody would dance. Like, that's it's such a weird thing. Like, we need sometimes this like this okay from others to just be like, oh, I get to do this also, right? So I actually at the comedy show I've noticed something similar slash it didn't pop in for me, which is funny. The first girl who opened it was the host. She was kind of like, oh, anybody into like therapy? And I was like silent. I was like, fuck, need someone to break it.
Yeah.
And it was a little too late. And I was like, woo. But it was so late that she'd already started talking again. So there was no time for that ripple effect. You know how like when one person goes, like another couple will pick it up and like can grow.
Of course.
Just, I did it too late. She's like, oh yeah, well, weird. Super different from the first crowd. First crowd was like all therapy. Here it's just like me and that dude. like, yeah, okay, fuck. Didn't fucking work out. But do you want to? You don't even need to comment that because I have a great segue.
I was just saying that.
A great segue out of this. Dude, if you want it.
You know what's funny? I was like, yeah, that's all good and well, and you know, interesting. But I want to go back to the dancing portion we were talking about, dude. Because just real quick, again, look, feel free to cut me off whenever. But you had your dance moment. I had my dance moment. And as you were talking, there were two more things that came up. Where dancing was like a theme in this past weekend for me. I was standing watching the parades, just kind of like bopping my head. Now, granted, I'm dressed like a crazy person. You know, I've got like a skirt on that's like it's like zebra print, whatever. But like it's like everybody, because no one gives a shit. You know, but this old lady comes up and she's like, I love your outfit. And I'm like, thank you so much. I caught all this stuff. I'm trying to see what the weirdest way I could put it all together is, whatever. And she's like, well, why aren't you dancing? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I just, it's been like, it's kind of a long day. I've been dancing so much already. Like, I don't want to, keep going. She's like, no, you gotta keep dancing. Like someday you're going to get old. And then you're not going to be able to do it like you used to. She's like, I would dance from sun up to sundown. All this. She's like, they used to, kind of like your deal. She's like, they used to pay me to go into places and like dance and stuff. And she's like, just trust me. Like, you don't want to get to my age and look at people who are your age now and be like, wow, like, I wish I could dance like that. Or I wish. And it like almost choked me up.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I'm
I was
there.
like wow, like you're so right. Like I'm only 30. And here's this woman who's, I think, well into like maybe her 60s or 70s. Look great. But she was like, I miss how much I was able to dance and just break it down and like have fun and let loose. She's like, because it's so healing, It's like, okay. And the second thing that popped in my head was, before all this dancing and stuff, or even like the parades even happened, there's like a big gathering of everybody who's riding in the floats and the chairman of like the board or whatever are sitting in this thing. And there's a guy who's like the leader of it all. And he, comes up and his final words to us all are like, look, go out there. If you're going to, drink or whatever, be responsible about it. And do not forget to dance. You don't stop dancing because you get old. You get old because you stop dancing. And that just like randomly hit me as you were talking. I was like that is such a interesting thing to say. I thought it was interesting because it's like, you're thinking about it. You're like, you're throwing all inhibitions to the wind, not caring what people think about you, and just surrendering to the music in the moment and saying, I want to have a great time. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I'm going to dance and jive and be free and flowy. Well, first of all, the amount of calories you burn for something like that is nuts. I was wearing my Whoop the whole night. Guys, start dancing. Dance doing everything. Dude, I worked out in the morning. I got more out of that like 3-hour dance session.
Yeah.
Like
for sure.
4 or 5 fold than what I got in my morning workout.
Yeah.
Dancing is awesome.
Yeah.
But also like just dude for the mental portion as well. Like not only physically, yes, you're burning calories and you're sweating and you're getting down and moving, but like mentally, I think way more people need to have that idea of like, bro, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I'm here to have a good time. And if no one's going to dance, I'm going to be that dude to dance. Because it's so freeing and you feel great. And it's like, what a great way to connect with people too. Because like, when someone comes up to you and is like, dude, love the way you're putting it down. That's awesome. Yeah. You feel great about it. And you're inspiring others to get out of their own heads and dance more. I don't know. I just thought that was a cool theme. There's a thread line, so dance. Dance takeaway in there.
Dance more.
Fucking dance more, dude. Don't stop dancing.
I mean, dude, you are talking to the right person, right? Like
I was thinking of you, man.
You literally just like I got choked up thinking about all of that.
I could tell you looked like there was something you wanted to say, like you were working through something in your head.
Oh, just listening and like feeling through it, like it's fucking crazy. So this idea, like this the thing about dancing and singing, and we've talked about singing here before, that it needs to sound or look a certain way to be good or to be acceptable, right? Is such bullshit. Like, it's such fucking bullshit. There's, I'm not going to go into detail because I only remember vaguely, but there's like tribes in Africa where like everybody sings and everybody dances because it's what brings you together. It's what you share a rhythm, you share a voice. It's something so much more than that, right? Like than hitting the perfect note or being right on rhythm. Like it's something that connects you. And like, it's such a shame in the Western world that it needs to be something that you need to be good at for you to be allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Because just moving, like how often does the average person throw their arms around like that? Fucking never. Your body can do this.
Yeah.
And you never do it. And like to the point of like what that woman was saying, like, yeah, like I think once it starts fading, only then do you start appreciating all the things that you were able to do. But if you never did them, like that's a type of fucking content, I think, that you would hold towards yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully you can work through it because you're in a different place if you're a little bit older. But yeah, that's fucking, it's so a really nice reminder, dude, a really nice reminder. And you know what the funny thing is? Like, I will say this because I'm sure a lot of people that are listening are like, yeah, but I'm never the person that people would say like, oh, they're like, look at your moves, like you're dancing great. The amount of times that I've complimented someone on their dancing, I would say it's probably 70-30 split. 30% were actually great dancers, and 70% of the time it was just someone having a great time. And I was like, you know what? I felt that.
Yeah. How
much fun you were having.
Yeah.
The way you put that shit down, fucking awesome. So it's not about it looking perfect or being perfect. It's you know, of course, you know, with anything like this is kind of like the crying thing. Like, yes, amazing, do it to a point. Like, and then like if you just show up at a Super Bowl party and like you're sobbing, you know what I mean? Like, there's a limit to it. Like, don't steal everybody's thunder when you're dancing. Have your moment, share it, you know, make it a thing. But dance is actually a large reason why I moved to the U.S. And I don't mean for like it's the reason I came here the first time to like train. So in that very literal sense, but I more so mean it showed me a lot about what America was like versus what Germany is like, which is very much still the thing. In Germany, when there's a circle in a club, like we would dance, but it was very much about like you versus me. I'm like, I'm putting you down. I'm better than you. Like, everybody see that? Yeah, fuck you. We went out here, like my homie and I, we came here for 3 weeks. The first time I was in New York to dance. And we went to this club that's now closed called Sullivan Room. It's a house club. It's like deep house. And up until midnight, everybody was in there like essentially warming up in their sweats. Then they would go like change in the bathroom, come back out in their fits, and like the night would start. Like,
that's so
fucking
hard.
Sick. It was awesome. And we went there one night. There was a completely different thing. It was not just a circle phone. So it was not really a tension or anything. It was like a room of like, you would walk and dance through the room somewhat openly, and you would go into these mini interactions with people. And it was like, you could just go up to someone and be like, yo, I like that step you just did. Can you show me that? Or people would like come up and be like, oh, I see when you do that. How about you try this? Like, there was like an exchange. There was like, I see your greatness. I want to come to your level. Or like,
right.
I see your potential. I want to raise you up. Versus in Germany is like, I see your potential. Shut the fuck up. You can't be better than me. Like, who do you think you are that you're better than everybody else, that you're doing your own thing? It's very, Germany is very much like that focus on pulling everybody at the same height, which still persists. Like in Germany, that's why in America you have so many more entrepreneurs. And it's breaking through in Germany, especially in some cities like Berlin. It's getting a lot more individualistic. But yeah, so dance, this parable, metaphor, I don't know. I've lived through it, so it's more than a metaphor. Anecdote, yeah. And the conclusion from it is literally where I'm like, shit, yeah, I belong in a place like America because that's my type of people.
Yeah.
Optimistic, looking for the good, wanting to grow, helping other people and putting them up. You know what I mean? Like that was everything. I was like, fuck yeah. Like all the reasons I hated Germany is like, 'cause all these people told me, oh, I dress too extravagant. Who are you dancing as a straight man or all this shit, you know what I mean?
Did you get shit for that? Dancing as a straight man?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I got active shit for it as much as maybe it was in my head. But yeah, I think there's always been looks. Like Germany's a weird place. You know, like I think I've told you this story where like my buddy and I were standing in a club and I was wearing white jeans and he was wearing a turtleneck and like there was literally 3 adult women giggling, like pointing at us like, so I was wearing like white jeans in a club at night. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, and Germany's very much like that. Like everybody's looking over your shoulder. What are you doing? Are you supposed to be doing that? Would they do it? And if they wouldn't, or the majority wouldn't, then they're gonna feel entitled to tell you that you shouldn't or make you feel like you shouldn't either.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why I love New York. There's always someone crazier than you. You can do whatever you want. Nobody will be like, oh, look at that guy, because there's someone just
Dude, that's the funny thing about Mardi Gras is that like even Steph said that. He's like, dude, you could be the most like in your head, you could think you've dressed up a ton and you're really going out on a limb and doing something crazy, and then you get to see all these other people and you're like, oh. I didn't do anything.
Boring as fuck.
I am so vanilla, you know. But that's like it's funny. I think like the very like the comparison is there. Yeah.
I wanted to tell you about something that I did, and I can take my cap off. I want to know if you still see it, but for those of you watching, there, if anything, it's a bad buzz cut right now because it's all all felty. But do you see these little red spots? Thingy. No.
On the top of your head?
Yeah, like all over. I got my first all crazy now. I got my first PRP treatment today.
Oh, wait, today?
Yeah, today. Literally today.
You literally can't even tell.
I mean, it's super like small needles, super fun, but like I'm working with great many who are hooking this up for me, which is fucking amazing because it is pricey, but I'm very, very excited to see what the results are going to be come like 3 months. They take 30 milliliters of your blood, so like a good bit. Not when you go to the doctor, like they don't just take like the little one.
Right.
It's like a good bit.
Like a chode vial.
Like like you could shake it.
Chody boy.
And then they pop it into a little thing, and it goes swirly for 10 minutes.
Centrifuge is what it's called.
Centrifuge. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
So that sounded so dick, dude.
Smart
I
boy.
knew I've heard of this procedure before, and I don't know like all the ins and outs of it, but I do know that a centrifuge is involved. So it was my chance to flex the fact that I did at one point in my life I was pre-med and I did use
so you can tell me about centrifugal
centrifugi. No,
forces.
I don't play it.
Centrifugal
forces.
Yeah, forces. Oh my god. Okay,
Doesn't
we're
matter.
moving on. Glad you feel smart now, you dick.
Yeah. Anyway, so they centrifuge your blood.
Yes, nice. And it separates the plasma.
Okay.
Or like the plasma,
platelets?
Platelets. Yeah, platelets-rich plasma therapy is what PRP stands for. Platelet-rich plasma, which is crazy because then you have the red blood cells like at the bottom. Then there's a little thing in between, and then the golden, like she's literally like liquid gold. I'm like, it looked like it. Then she puts this into like a bunch of different syringes, and then just like goes with this like cold air fan, like cool it down and.
Oh really?
Like. Went all across my head. Like I technically came in just for the hairline, but she's like, "Yo, we got all this stuff. So like, why don't you just go ahead, and do the whole thing? Because it's even where you have healthy hair, it makes them grow healthier and thicker. But yeah, it's super weird because like they put it in and like it feels like first you feel a little. Like, I never got a tattoo, but I imagine it's more the tattoo like that pain. But then it feels like a hook. Spat on my mic. Wow, it feels like a hook is pulling it up, which is because she's putting the liquid in. So like the skin stretches out. You feel this like pressure. But it's not like, it's super weird. It's not painful. Like it's not comfortable, but it's not painful. Like I thought it was going to be worse, all things considered. Like it does start bleeding, but it's like kind of like micro needling if anybody's ever done that. So I'm super stoked because like, it's with the hair regrowth thing. Like I'm trying to, as little as possible, do like anything super invasive or like super like I'm stopped taking finasteride because I felt like that was messing with my body a little bit, like taking it in. Not that I had any side effects, but I always feel weird. So this is like very natural way to like keep working for it. And it's not a hair transplant yet, which I am considering down the line. But like I've noticed recently like that the my hairline does affect my confidence level a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sure that's the case for many men.
Yeah. And we've talked about it, not actually on the podcast before, but like after a podcast for when I worked with Rogaine, which I also still use. But yeah, I wanted to share because I think it's not a super affordable treatment. Like it's pricey. I think like 3 sessions are $1,500. That are like, that's your first thing.
Will 3 get you there though? Like will 3 get you the
3
results?
will get you the results, and then you have to maintain, depending on like your hair loss, either once or twice a year, I think.
Oh,
Like
that's honestly not bad.
yeah, so I'm
like,
going.
dude,
I'm going
Invisalign
today.
was like $5,000.
Oh shit.
And that took me like
shit. Yeah, right.
years. That was like
Oh,
I think I was in
interesting.
Invisalign for like
Yeah,
2
yeah.
years.
It's not something I actually consider as like a parallel thing, but like yeah, like it's the same thing. Like it's something small about the way you look, right? Anyway, I wanted to share. Like I'm excited. Like I felt really good. I felt like I've this is probably, it felt like the most, it not being invasive, but like it felt like the most invasive thing I've done to actually like do something. But I felt really good about it. Like I was like I'm excited to see what comes of it. So that's something that happened today.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that you were like I feel like this is the second or third time we've talked about your hair. Like I had no idea you even like had thoughts about your like I think your hair looks fine, but maybe
Yeah, but so this is super interesting. I saw this Instagram reel. I do go on there. Yesterday I actually, because I was feeling a little under the weather, was on there for about an hour just watching random reels.
Yeah.
Found fucking gold. This theory of like you were never supposed to see yourself.
What?
You were never supposed to see yourself. Back when like humans didn't have mirrors, didn't have cameras, didn't have anything, like you would maybe see a reflection like a little, shitty in a lake, but not on a daily basis, and by no means to the extent that we see ourselves nowadays. And that is you like, even so, it was really hard for you to compare yourself to anybody, because like you only had like a shitty idea of what you looked like, and you had to go off of what other people told you looked like. So people were like, you're beautiful. You, for better or worse, had to believe it or doubt it, based off of them. Like you didn't have an opinion yourself, really.
Yeah.
And I think that's fucking crazy. Like the implications of like how much we think about what we look like. And then the realization that the way we were, like the way humans kind of like came on this planet or developed on this planet was never with looks in mind of yourself, only what others look like.
That's so wild.
Isn't that a
'Cause
crazy
I feel
thought?
like now like the industry, like there's such a huge industry now based on the fact people can see themselves and want to make themselves look the
got
best
my
that they
blood
absolutely
separated
can.
and re-injected into my skull today. That's some like, we're living in a world that's some fucking some capital shit from Hunger Games.
Yeah.
That's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just hair, but like at the end of the day, it feeds into like how you feel about yourself, and as aware as I am of the entire concept, I'm still very much living in it and affected by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, do you think about your appearance often? Yeah.
Yeah, less so, but
I feel like I think about it all the time.
Yeah, no,
I mean, then again, I like.
Dude, I mean, I'm a Leo. I like, look, if you think I walk shirtless past any mirror without flexing a little, like it's, I guess, but that's thinking about it.
See,
Even
I'm the
just
opposite.
noticing.
I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, we got ways to go, pallets.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, like a negative self-talk.
Always.
Oh, shit.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just
No,
like,
like-
I feel like that's just like wild. I feel like
That's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, it would almost be nice.
Dude,
to
you
like,
you look fucking great. Like I'd never have that thought about you. Like you'd probably never have the thought about my hair. And then go back to like, you were never supposed to fucking criticize yourself.
right.
If you didn't have the ability to like check yourself out and be that critical and just had to go off of what other people are telling you, you'd probably feel on top of the world because everybody sees you for the person that's like maintaining this insane body by waking up every day and like putting in the work and going to the gym. Like there's no fucking fluctuation like that anybody would notice but you, right?
True. Well, I guess back then it'd be like the equivalent of going out and hunting and bringing back like a deer. This guy rocks. We get to eat tonight. This guy fucking
Nice.
kills it.
Literally
kills it. What is that animal? Please tell me I've never seen it.
Someone fire it up though,
Because I am
Tastes
hungry and it's getting dark.
yeah. To think that the discovery of fire and us cooking our meats and the extra caloric intake resulted in you and I being able to have a conversation right now that is conscious is fucking crazy.
That's
that's the origin of like how consciousness developed.
Wait.
We had excess energy because we started cooking our meats higher, like something. I'm not a scientist. Anytime I say anything like that, please don't quote me to the fucking point. But roughly, because we started cooking our foods. There was a higher caloric intake, meant we had higher energy, and that's what they're arguing now, I think.
Really? But just having more energy led to us developing brains that were like, all right, well, I just got to think more.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, that's the last I heard.
That's wild.
We might need to run a fact check of this after the episode real quick.
Maybe.
And then put it in the intro that we're now recording afterwards. Just like, watch out for that one moment where Marcel just fucking
Just in case
lies.
you guys are listening all the way through, we made a couple scientific claims that might not hold up in court, so don't
not
quote
even
us.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Fuck. I think I got hit on at Equinox.
What?
I think I got hit on at Equinox.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
was so someone
congrats?
no. So this dude asked for my number.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, if you ever want to work out, I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Problem is the way that conversation started, I was just buck-ass naked, and the first words out of his mouth were,
nice dick.
You're almost.
Hey, man.
He's like, you're so fucking lean.
Oh.
I'm like,
which I know you were like, yeah,
I'm like
you think so?
Dead out. I'm like, really?
Give a compliment
No.
to any dude in
Yeah.
a fucking locker room about his lean body and watch him get so stoked about it.
Literally, that's how he hooked me. I was
For
like,
sure.
okay, cool. I'm like, yeah, no thanks. I mean, I do a lot of conditioning. I also was like, look, a lot of it's genetic.
Yeah.
Just so you know. I was like, okay, good. We chatted for like 2-3 minutes, and he's like, oh, can I grab your number? I'm like, I went home. I told Clara. I'm like. He's like, no, he was hitting on you. I'm like, yeah, right. Like, if you just start talking, like, I literally just pulled my boxers up, sat down to put my socks on, and then he started talking to me. Meaning he had looked at me while I dropped my towel to like put my undies on, like I turned away and shit. But like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a little. I feel like a straight dude wouldn't necessarily do that.
Interesting.
Do you think?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
either which way, he was
I
super
feel
nice.
like I would. I'd be like, brother. How do you get these lats? Can you talk me through how you get these lats?
Dead ass. And he was like, yeah, maybe. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe.
Say here, the challenge of the week is Marcel works out with this guy and sees how inappropriate it gets, if it gets even inappropriate at all.
Okay, I like that.
That's funny though. I had a dude once who was like, same kind of deal, but he wasn't like, dude, you look lean. He was like, hey, dude, if you ever need a massage. You want to take my number? I'll give you a massage. I do massages. I was like, you know what, man?
I'm okay.
I think I got a guy already, but thank you.
Yeah. I think it just the question was so out of nowhere, and I don't know how to handle it. I feel like women are so well prepared to handle like, oh, your number, like, yeah, I'll give you a wrong one or like this or that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have a boyfriend.
I literally was like, what do you even do? Because like. There was no clear enough incentive to like just straight up turn it down and be like, yo, no, sorry, I'm not interested.
I work out alone, thanks.
That versus...
You don't want to be an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. This is weird. Either you
I'm
did
curious
played it
now.
really well. So am I. Okay, dude. I wanna tell you also like where I want to tell everybody. We got 2 more. After this one more episode left in season 2.
Yeah.
And then we're taking a little break. So I'm heading to the Bahamas tomorrow.
Ooh, tomorrow?
Tomorrow. That's why I was like
tomorrow.
No, tomorrow morning. That's why I'm a little stressed now. Then we're shooting one more next week,
Brother.
where I'll tell you and all of you a little bit about what went down in the Bahamas at a fitness and wellness hotel, which I'm really fucking.
Oh,
excited
there's this
about.
one I was supposed to go to that
Yes.
I got my invite rescinded.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm curious myself to see how wonderful that trip would have been. I was so hyped.
You're staying in the city, right?
I'm staying in the city, and then, funny enough, after we record the next episode, I'm heading off to Thailand.
And I'm heading off to LA to run the marathon. So
Dude, wild.
We're gonna catch you up what happens in the Bahamas and in New York next week. Today was a little bit of a catch up, as you could tell, like just us chatting.
But I think there were some through lines here.
No, for sure.
If you
for
guys
sure.
get anything out of this episode, I really do think that dude, dance
There's
more.
at least 3 dance takeaways.
For sure.
There's dance more.
But
right?
I think that is so big, though. I think, I don't know what we're going to call this episode, but I do feel like there is something very powerful about dancing. And I think if more people just let loose and danced, you would have a better time. And I don't know, it inspires other people to do the same thing and raises the vibe everywhere. I thought that was a cool takeaway from today.
Yeah. No,
Anyway.
we can absolutely end on a dance note. Dance.
There you
Dance
go.
note.
Dance note.
Dance note.
Dance note.
It's
I like
both.
it.
It's both. We'll see you guys soon. We gotta get you home to Kaya.
Yes. My dog
and then we're taking like a 2-3 week break before season 3, so we can finally actually come up with a jingle, finally come up with a handshake, so we can get this sorted proper.
I apologize for everyone watching, which I guess now is everyone because you can watch on Spotify now.
No,
which
people
is
watch
huge.
on people listen on Apple too, and like other things, you know.
Well, yeah, you know, if you've been watching our flop handshakes this whole time, then this will be great news for everybody who's like, what are you guys even doing?
Bye. Bye. No, seriously. I hope you enjoyed even just a casual catch up. I'm with you. I think there's something in there.
Always is, man.
There always is. There's always something.
That was it.
That was that. For anybody who hadn't gotten anything out of it yet, that was that. Anyway, so now we're ending on this. Dance more.
Dance more and work out with strangers. Da-da-da.
That's a weird finish. Bye.
See you guys.